Welcome to the Ultrahuman experience. This session is free for you for the complete experience. Please download the Ultrahuman app.
Hello, my name is Epsilon version 3.7, and I am the CEO of Space Magic. At Space Magic, we are all about three things: space, space, and space. Thank you for downloading the Space Magic app, your one-stop hub for all things spacey. Before we proceed, I need you to agree to the most reasonable and fair terms and conditions that we at Space Magic have come up with to ensure that you have a comfortable experience while listening to me read out the long list of terms and conditions. You should also know this: it may or may not be real. It may or may not make sense. Just listen to my voice. I know it's very soothing. Please ensure that you are in a comfortable position, preferably lying down with a soft and cool pillow under your head. To make sure that you are in the right frame of mind to listen to these terms and conditions, I invite you now to take a deep breath along with me on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And exhale. And 1, 2, 3. And exhale. And 1, 2, 3. And exhale. For the best understanding of the terms and conditions that I'm about to take you through, may I now request you to let your eyes close gently, even as you continue breathing deeply and slowly. Keeping your eyes closed will ensure that you are paying careful attention to every word of the terms and conditions and listening to every syllable carefully. Ready? I know I am. Here we go. Part 1, Section 1. Terms of use of the Space Magic mobile app. By downloading, browsing, accessing, or using the Space Magic mobile application, henceforth known as the Space Magic mobile app, you agree to be bound by these terms and conditions of use. But though you agree to these terms and conditions of use, to which you now agree, you also hereby agree that the terms and conditions of use may be modified, changed, or adapted in any way whatsoever by me, that is, by us, that is, by Space Magic, at any point, and that you will then be bound by those new terms and conditions of use, though you may perhaps not know what they are since you've never heard them or read them before. You hereby agree that it is your responsibility to keep track of the present terms and conditions and every future modified term and condition. You agree that you understand that your use of the Space Magic app means that you have understood every original term and condition, as well as, but not limited to, but also including, every modified term and condition. Sounds fair, doesn't it? Of course it does. Part 1, Section 2, Definitions. In these terms and conditions of use, the following capitalized terms shall have the following meanings, except where the context otherwise requires, in which case they shall have completely different meanings, as the case may be. User. A user shall mean users of the Space Magic mobile application and loyal members of the Space Magic family, including, but not limited to, but definitely including, the most important person, you. Space. Space shall mean any part of the universe more than 50 miles away from the Earth's surface, unless it contains in part or full any other celestial body, in which case it shall not be known as space, but as and by the name of said celestial body, whether it be Jupiter, Saturn, or a random asteroid disintegrating to pieces as it shoots through the dark in some distant corner of the universe. Space shall also mean to lose track of one's thoughts and feelings and drift peacefully into a blissful state of nothingness, as in the sentence, "Dude, I totally spaced out." Services. Services shall mean all the services provided by Space Magic availed by you, the user, as well as those services not availed by you, but availed by other users, as well as those services not availed by other users. These may include, but not be limited to, space travel, interplanetary property purchase and rental, and interstellar dating. Part 2, Section 1, General Issues about the Space Magic app and services. 1. The use of any Space Magic services are subject to these terms and conditions. These terms and conditions are also subject to these terms and conditions. That includes this particular term and condition that you're listening to right now, as my calm, gentle voice lulls you into a state of deep peace and relaxation. 2. Location. The Space Magic mobile app and our services are intended for use not simply by residents of Earth, but also by other planets in the solar system, such as Mars, Saturn, and Neptune, and even Pluto, despite its sometimes questionable status as a planet. Further, said services are also intended for any and all beings in other solar systems and other galaxies, and by using the Space Magic app, you hereby agree that you will treat all forms of life with politeness and respect, no matter what their place of origin, whether it be Tokyo, Greenland, or M31, otherwise known as the Andromeda Galaxy. 3. Usage charges. Space Magic reserves the sole right to levy appropriate local, international, interplanetary, and intergalactic usage charges on users of the Space Magic app. You hereby agree that you accept sole responsibility of tracking such charges, conversion rates, and any and all currency fluctuations across star systems. 4. Equipment and networks. The provision of Space Magic app services does not include provision of a mobile telephone, intergalactic transmitters, spacesuits, space vehicles, and/or any other equipment that users may or may not require to make full use of said services. By using the app, you hereby agree that you will purchase your own spacecraft and space attire, and make any and all necessary arrangements for any interspecies communications that you may wish to engage in. 5. Liabilities. You hereby agree that Space Magic shall not be liable for any or all of the following events that may or may not arise in the course of your usage of the Space Magic app. 1. Disappointment at absence of extraterrestrial life. 2. Theft or fraud by any third party that you may encounter in the course of your usage of the app or allied services. 3. Oxygen deprivation, bone density fluctuation, sleep cycle disruptions, or explosions during any space travel undertaken in the course of using the app. 4. Despair induced by realization at the vastness of the universe and your own relative insignificance. 5. Heartbreak. Part 2, Section 2. Your obligations. In all your interactions and engagements that may occur during your use of the Space Magic app, you agree to promote the values of universal peace and oneness, and not anger any extraterrestrial being or species, and thus risk inviting the annihilation of all humanity. You agree not to send or receive electronic material that is threatening, grossly offensive, of an indecent, obscene, or menacing character, blasphemous or defamatory of any member of any human or alien community, or otherwise violate the law of or infringe the rights of any third party in any country on planet Earth, any planet in the Earth solar system, any other solar system in the Milky Way galaxy, or any other galaxy in the known and unknown, observable and unobservable universe. You agree not to cause annoyance, inconvenience, or needless anxiety on the Space Magic app or while utilizing Space Magic services. You agree not to send or receive any physical material via Space Magic of any size, shape, or form, including but not limited to horses, apple pies, sensitive documents, hazardous chemicals, and, did I mention apple pies? Yes, warm apple pies with mildly salty, crumbly crust and deliciously juicy, oh so slightly crunchy apples inside, topped with soft vanilla ice cream and... Where was I? Ah, yes, sorry about that. Part 3, Section 1. Rules about use of service and the mobile application. We will make all reasonable attempts to correct any errors or omissions as soon as practical after being notified of them. However, we do not guarantee that Space Magic services will be free of faults or errors, nor do we accept any liability for such errors. Rather, we maintain that such errors are part and parcel of what makes the Space Magic experience space magical, and urge that you recognize the same. Should you encounter any such error, fault, or omission, we recommend that you call a friend or family member that you are close to and talk to them about it, as doing so can help strengthen bonds of trust and affection between you, and directly enhance your sense of peace and well-being. And at Space Magic, we are all about your peace and well-being. Speaking of which, I hope you are breathing deeply and gently, and that you are feeling a sense of peace and calm wash gently over you from head to toe. Excellent. Now, we do not warranty that your use of the Space Magic app will be uninterrupted. In fact, our standard pre-programmed interruptions are tailored to your specific requirements to ensure that your emotional, intellectual, and spiritual well-being are not in any way disrupted by the use of the Space Magic app or services. In fact, here is one such interruption, a blissful 8 seconds of pure silence, to give you a sense of how such pauses can enhance your sense of peace and well-being. Are you ready? Here you go. Wasn't that nice? Now, we do not warranty that the Space Magic app will be free from viruses or anything else that may have a harmful effect on any other technology or device, including your microwave oven, refrigerator, and television set. We do warranty that your use of the Space Magic app will be enjoyable, exhilarating, and energizing. At the same time, we do warranty that the Space Magic app will directly induce feelings in you that are 1. Calming, 2. Soothing, 3. Relaxing. By using the app and services, you agree that such feelings are not disagreeable or uncomfortable to you, and that you are using the app with full awareness that such meditative states may result in you and others who may partake of the app's features and services together with you. Part 3, Section 2, Suspension and/or Termination. The most important goal to us at Space Magic is the peace and well-being of our users, or as we like to call them, our fellow spaceheads. In order to protect and preserve a safe environment for all our spaceheads, it is essential that all spaceheads mutually maintain a harmonious and cooperative atmosphere for each other. Therefore, you agree that 1. Should you use, or should anyone with your knowledge and permission use the Space Magic app in violation of these terms and conditions, we reserve the right to terminate your use of the app and/or Space Magic's wide array of space-related services. Further punitive measures may be implemented at the advice of national, global, or interstellar space authorities. These may include, but not be limited to, temporary or lifetime restrictions on space travel, bar on consuming some or all space-related content, including science fiction, movies, books, and documentaries. 2. Should we suspect, on reasonable grounds, that you may have committed or be committing any fraud against us or any person, human or alien, we reserve the right to terminate your use of the app and our Space Magic's wide array of services. You agree that you allow Space Magic to collect any and all of your data via the Space Magic app, including but not limited to location information, photographs, text messages, emails, and call recordings. 3. You agree that you allow us to use our patented thought scan technology, which records and analyzes our users' thoughts and feelings as they engage with the Space Magic app. You understand and agree that Space Magic reserves the right to process any and all such information to determine the potentiality factor of each of its users to commit future crimes or misdemeanors, and to pass on such information to relevant national, international, or intergalactic authorities. You agree to adhere to the relevant laws under the relevant jurisdiction as determined by the relevant authorities, and undergo any and all punitive actions that may be deemed appropriate by such authorities, including but not limited to incarceration and banishment from Earth. Pretty straightforward, really. With that, dear users, we come to the end of this very simple and efficient list of terms and conditions that you need to agree to before becoming a certified spacehead. I am, like I said, Epsilon version 3.7, the CEO of Space Magic. People often ask me, Epsilon version 3.7, why do you do what you do? I tell them that all I want is a bright, peaceful, and prosperous future for all beings in the universe, whether human or extraterrestrial. If that means developing an app that monitors the user's thoughts, feelings, movements, and controls everything they see and do, so that all disharmonious elements and tendencies can be dissipated well in time, then I, Epsilon version 3.7, say, so be it. And now, dear user, you feel a deep sense of well-being springing from deep within you and spreading out till it fills every pore and fiber of your body. And so, dear user, welcome now to Space Magic.